Hello, I'm Andrew Irvin. I work for Cooperage for Diageo. My position here is Process Improvement Leader. We got involved with the Antonine wall, looking at reconstructing the Roman casks. This was done through Dunbartonshire Council, who approached the Cooperage Federation, of which I'm on the council, and we saw this as a great opportunity to work with our apprentices to show them how things have remained the same over a long period of time.
Yeah, I'm David McGarrigle. I've been working for 40 years as a cooper. I'm a third generation cooper as well, so I'm quite used to working with oak barrels. I was asked by one of our business leaders to come up with this barrel from the Antonine wall people, and it was quite a big challenge, basically. It was a challenge for me to come away from the barrels that we normally make, to come back to like the small stuff that we used to do when we were apprentices. Obviously, not this kind of shape. It's more a barrel shape, but this is more different because it's narrow at the top and wider down at the bottom. So it's quite a challenge, and it took me a few times to get it right.
Okay.
I think it was just the shape, because the way they've got it is narrow at the top and quite wide at the top, down at the bottom. And it's got quite a pitch in the middle as well. Where our normal barrels is more the same at the top as in the bottom. Still got the pitch, but the Romans have gave us the hazel hoops, where we're normally using metal ones.
Okay.
It was really difficult. Because of the sizes, the staves, it was I think they were under so many mil. It was like 20 mil or 30 mil at the top, and then it went from 50 to 40 mil. And it's really hard when I was on the hand jointer or the mechanical jointer to get it to that size. It was a lot of practice on that. Plus, once I got it risen, I had to end up steaming the barrel to get this shape. Well, the stave would have naturally started off that thick, and obviously we've shaped it with the steam, and then I went on to the next stage to make it thinner. So what we've done is made it thin, so it made it more pliable for us to bend the stave to the shape of the cast. As you can see, it just comes in like that, and then after that we start crumbing it and then putting our crows in. Well, we're using this tool here. As you can see there, it's got a cutter there. I'll put our crows in for the end to fit in. See, this is one of the ends, so that'll go in. People will call it lids, but we call it ends. Well, the hazel hoops, yeah, that was kind of a challenge as well, because never worked with hazel. We've had hazel hoops coming in through the cooperage, but we normally just take them off and replace them with metal hoops. But to go out and find a hazel bush and then start finding out how to apply the wood, how to bend it, was another challenge, because I think it comes in as a coppice way of working. I think that's how we work it. That was another new challenge for me, and I think I've got there, but yeah. There's no major differences from when they done them 2,000 years ago or 3,000 years ago, as we go back in the history books. Everything's the same, because what you've got is your wood, and what we're doing is making the shape with either steam or heat. And in the days they probably fired it, because obviously steam, when they have steam, they would have used a fire. So the heat and a bit of water, and then you'd have started to bend your staves to shape. We're still doing that today. Obviously, through the years we've used the wooden hoops, but now we're using metal, so it's more stronger, and it'll make your casts a lot tighter. Yeah, only for demonstrations or for presentations if somebody's retiring or that, or somebody's asked you for a smaller barrel or for a bar, so they can put their whisky in it.
Okay.
My main tools are my driver and my hammer. My hammer's a 5-pound hammer, which we all use in the cooperage. That's for more knocking on the metal hoops that we use. But what to use in making the barrel, I'd meant to make a wooden driver, so it wouldn't be damaging the hoops or the wood that I was working on. The next tool is an adze, or an each as we call it, and that's more for trimming the tops. As I said, the top of that cask there, and it's a good tool, versatile, and it's more for putting a crumb on the casks that we use in the coop. Next tool is our crows. As I say, there's got a cutting tool in the middle here, and what we do is we run it inside, so we actually make a groove inside the cask for our ends to go in, or our lids. I say this is an end, so once we've done that crumb, the crows, we will fit that back into the cask, into the groove. As you can see, there's a wee bite there, as we call it, and that's what we get a seal on our cask. Next knife is a crumb knife. You see it's got quite a curve on that. Well, that would be used for inside, as we've said. We could put that down there, and what I actually do is crumbing the wood inside, so then we'll use our crows then. So that makes the side inside round. That's where we get that shape. The next tool we've got is a spoke shave, and this one here is for more for getting your cask round and taking the rough wood off. So scrape the wood like that, and then we'll get that shapeness to the cask. Same again, we've got a heading knife, it's called, so we'd have used that first to get the shape of the wood, to take some excess wood off before we work that like this. Just pulling up there, and that's a very sharp tool. That's all tools. Oh, right, sorry. And we've got a compass here. This is the only measurement we use on our casks, either big casks or small casks that we use in the cooperage. As I said, what we do is measure around the cask. We go around that 6 times, measuring it like that, and then what we do is we come back to a piece of wood, we start scoring, we get the shape of our cask, and then what we do our end, and then what we do is cut them out in a bandsaw, and we get our shape of our end.
Okay.
There's been nothing changed for maybe 2,000 years ago. You would still have your hammer. They would have been used that as a weight to hammer down the hoops and that, plus chapping your staves. You probably have a different version of the crumb knife to make the roundness inside, but you probably still have a board, as we say, the close board, to put the groove inside your barrel, so your end would fit in there. There would be some sort of cutting tool, but these adze, as we call them, you probably see this in the shipbuilding as well, and if you maybe think it in the countryside, the farmers use them, but no as sharp. They use them as cutting a drill for putting the plants in, but over the years we've put a face on it, so it's more a cutting. But yeah, they would have used that for either putting a chime on, or maybe splitting staves, wood to make the staves. So it's quite a versatile tool, that one. Started off, this is the staves that we started off with. As you can see, it's quite thick, so in the process I had to make them a lot thinner. As I said, we used a crumb knife to make the inside a lot thinner. So the next stage was, after I'd done that, the stave would have been looking like this. So we've got a big difference from the thickness. So we went from maybe an inch or 25mm down to 10mm. So there's been a lot of wood being taken off there. So the next stage after that, we'd have rose the cask up, put it on the steam, and then, as you can see, once we've gave the cask a bit of steaming, we've put the hoops on it and we've got a curve. So this is what we really wanted, to get the shape of the barrel. And then the next stage after that, once it's been cooled down, I would have ended up putting the crows in the cask, as you say. It had been done with the crows machine. As I say, it'll go back to the e-cutting machine. As I say, once you rub it back and forward, get this groove. And that's where this end comes in. So once we've done the crows, your wee end fits in the crows, and that's where you get your seal. And that's what makes your barrel round. The hoops, yeah, the hoops are, as I said, hazel. Started off, we had to go and find a tree. I never cut the tree down. What we done was cut some branches off, and what we looked for was small ones. You can see it's quite small. And what I had to do was split the what's it called? A branch. I had to split the branch in half, and then once it's fresh, bend it into a shape of the circle that we want. And then after that, I got copper rings, measured up my hoop on the cask, got the measurement, got some copper rings, put them together, folded them more, and then I got my hoop size. And then it was a case of tacking on with a wooden driver, and that's how we got our hoops on the cask.
And for the color?
The colour, yeah. This was another challenge, was to make the cask look gold. As I say, this is how it would have looked when it was brand new. But for the Antonine wall, the people wanted it coloured, well, representing a 2,000-year-old barrel. So this is what I reckon it would have been looking like in that time. So it's had the aging. So what I had to find out was to find out how to make a new wood barrel into an old wood barrel. So I had to, well, I say Google, I had to Google that. And so a bit of wire wool and vinegar. So left that for a couple of days, and then rubbed it into the wood, and then we're getting this effect. So it gives it this age effect. So hopefully that looks like a 2,000-year-old barrel.